Hello and welcome to my channel. Another one where you're going to get to look at my face for like 10 minutes. If that's not your speed, thanks for being here for a moment. But yeah, this is not going to be my usual content. I've been doing YouTube now for 2 years. I started in September of 2023 and I've just been realizing that you don't know anything about me, you don't know who I am or why you should support me, or why I'm trying to do this in the first place. Like, who is trying to become a YouTuber in 2025? Well, lots of people still. And I guess I just want to talk about my journey here, and what got me to this point was that I actually have a master's in business leadership. It's a totally useless degree. At least in my experience, it is. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who think, oh, well, I could have put that to great use. Like, if I'd had your privilege to get that. And yes, I have had a lot of privilege in my life. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't. But I would say to anyone, especially young people who are getting ready to get out into the world, do not assume that college guarantees you a job or anything. It does not. College will not be the answer to everything. If you want to do something very specific, like become a doctor or be a lawyer, you're going to have to go to school. Those are professions that require a degree in order to do them. You have to have the appropriate training. But see, I went to school and I got my bachelor's in communications with an emphasis in English. I got an English degree. Anything fine arts related is essentially, and not really, I'm sorry, most of you probably have fine arts degrees. I'm going to say this, it's going to sound really mean, but you know what I'm saying. It's essentially a useless degree. You're never going to do anything with that. Like, it doesn't help you out in the business world. I got my first job was on contract with a large bank. I worked there for 8 years. They're a very well-known bank. Um, they have a habit of getting their name in the news. I'm sure you can figure out who it is. I'm not going to say who it is, because I have nothing nice to say about them. And my philosophy in life is, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. The reason that I started YouTube in 2023 is largely because that bank closed down the department I worked in, and I had been miserably unhappy for 8 years. That job almost killed me. That job gave me diabetes and high blood pressure. I was headed that way my whole life. I had diabetes in my 20s. I just put off going to the doctor for a decade because I did not want that diagnosis, so I refused to go see a doctor for anything, even when in college. I got so sick for like 3 months with like an upper respiratory infection that I'm pretty sure was walking pneumonia. Granted, I'm no doctor, but I was using over-the-counter cough medicine for 3 solid months, which you're not supposed to do. And everyone in my life kept telling me I needed to go see a doctor, and I flat refused. I should have died. I didn't. And I never wound up in the hospital. I refused to go. Eventually, my body did heal. It just took an excruciatingly long time because I had untreated diabetes that my body was busy fighting. And that's the thing about diabetes, is it's not the diabetes itself that kills you. It is, but it isn't. It's always something else, like pneumonia. Because your body, with diabetes, your body is so busy fighting that disease, it has no energy, no resources left to fight anything else. So things like pneumonia, things like the common cold, kill diabetics all the time because their body cannot combat them. So COVID, for obvious reasons, knowing that information, is a huge concern. And in 2020, and during the whole pandemic, I had the luxury of working from home for that bank. It was a great time. It was a great gig at that time. It was fantastic. I still hated the company I worked for, but I got to work from home for like 3 years. And after COVID, I got a medical accommodation, so that I could continue to work from home, because apparently if you have a good doctor, you can just go to your doctor and go, can I get a letter from you stating that it is in the best interest of me to continue to work from home? And it worked. Also, I'm sure there's some white privilege in there that most other people can't just do that, but also you have to have a doctor who listens to you, which I was very lucky to have at the time. That is not something easy to come by. I have been very fortunate with my experiences in the medical industry, because the medical industry in this country is a disaster and a joke. That's irrelevant. That's another video rant for another day. Why I want to be a YouTuber, why I want to do this, because, well, I'm unemployed for my third time since I worked for that bank. Like, I have struggled so hard to maintain any job, and I've had several now over the last several years. Most of them all sucked, like most jobs do, because working just sucks when you have to take a job just to pay the bills. So, like, and it's harder for people like me who have autism and ADHD. Working in a corporate environment is not the best. It's just not where I thrive. I can do it, but I cannot do it overly well. So, I'd rather be self-employed. And I have a 6-year-old Siberian Husky who kind of needs me home with him all the time. He does not like to be alone. He does not have separation anxiety, but he really cannot be by himself for 8 hours a day. He has some stomach issues that can flare up. They flare up if he's anxious, so me leaving him for 8 hours a day causes him issue because he's anxious when he's alone, and that makes his stomach upset, and that makes him feel like he needs to throw up or go to the bathroom in the house, which, personally, I don't mind. I understand you didn't feel good. You didn't do it on purpose. It's okay. But what I can't abide is him throwing up during the day by himself, because he gets hemorrhagic gastroenteritis very easily. He's very prone to that. We've dealt with it 2 or 3 times in his life already. It's no joke. He will die that way, probably, and I don't want that for him. That's just not a way to go. I don't want to be able to work my own hours, and being a YouTuber means that you can do that. I'm mostly a night person. I'm filming this during the day, however, but I'm primarily a night owl. I edit a lot at night, because that's when I'm awake, and that's when I'm the most energized to do stuff. And late shift jobs are all mostly physical manual labor, which, totally fine, but I'm not fit for those jobs, so I get passed over for them. I get ignored, even though I could do them. And also, it's never too late to follow your dreams, and that's honestly the thing. I have an idea of a life that I want to have. I want to work my own hours. I want to do something I love, and I really enjoy making videos, which shouldn't be a surprise to me, because when I was a kid, I was always obsessed with the idea of what if a person was being filmed for every moment, every second of every day. How would that work? What would that be like? I don't know why, but I've always been obsessed with, media production in one way or another. I wanted to make skits and skits and things when I was a kid with my friends, but I did not have any kind of equipment to do that with, and we are in an age now where everybody has an iPhone, so you can film anything at any time. I'm currently running a relatively successful TikTok for my dog. I I'm no stranger to building an audience. Prior to this, when I was in high school, my senior year mostly, and my whole time in college, I was a blogger on the now defunct website Xanga. I was not no one. I wasn't like any of their featured writers, but I have had experience with building an audience and what that takes. So I know that I can do this. I know that ultimately I can make this work. It will take time, and I understand that, and I'm willing to work for that. And also, I like teaching myself new things. I am self-taught in digital art and things like that, as well as now video editing. And I'm getting better all the time. I know that I am. I think this is also kind of like a hype video for myself. Like, because from in the future, this may be a very different situation. Hopefully. That is the goal. Um, but yeah, mostly I just really wanted to say, like, I waited until I was in my 30s to actually do something that I wanted to do. In high school and college, I hated the aptitude tests and stuff that we did, especially in high school, because they're all like, oh, you should figure out what it is you want to do with your life. And I was just like, there's no way for me to do what I want to do. And that wasn't true then. It's not true now. I wanted to be a writer. I was always a big Stephen King fan, and I wanted to write horror. So I did that for a lot of years on Xanga, and I proved to myself even then that if I'd chosen to pivot and try and make a living doing that, I could have done it. I just didn't have the confidence in myself. I did not believe that I was capable of anything. I truly believed until the last couple of years, until before I started YouTube, that I was incapable of doing anything other than just being another cog in the machine, which nobody wants that. That's not how you live a life that you can be happy with. And I don't advise anyone do that. Do not settle for mediocre. Do not settle for what you feel like society has told you you deserve. You are worth much more than that. Especially when you don't think that you are. You are more capable than you believe. You don't have to settle for whatever, and if you are working towards achieving a dream or a goal or whatever it is you want, you know that progress will be slow most of the time. There's nothing wrong with that either. Like, we all have this idea in our head that these people have had meteoric rises overnight, like one viral video and they were set. But that's not the reality of anything. That's not how anything works. And I have nothing at this point when I'm filming this. I have 53 subscribers. Thank you all. But that's nothing. Like, that doesn't get me monetization. I'm working there. I would like to get to 500 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within a year so that I can have monetization. I'm still looking for jobs because, like I said, I'm currently unemployed. And one of the other reasons I started YouTube was because I was never comfortable with public speaking before. And, like, doing interviews and things was always a real challenge for me because an interview is where you sell yourself and you have to talk a lot. And I'm really not very good at selling myself. At least I didn't used to be. Because I did not believe in myself at all. And I didn't want to sell myself because that felt disgusting to me. Like, tell me why you have merit. Tell me what you're worth to this company. Well, I'm a human being. I think I have inherent worth. I don't give a flying fuck about your company. But, can't say that in an interview. You can, but that's a guaranteed way to make sure you don't get a job. And when you've got bills to pay and a sick dog to take care of, you kind of have to learn how to manage your own self-esteem as well as how to get the job. Lie to them. Just lie. Lie straight to their face. Lie to yourself. Lie to them. Lie all the time if you don't believe that you have necessarily what it takes to do the job. Just lie. You don't need to tell the truth. There are certain situations where telling the truth is not beneficial. Like if you need that paycheck, just lie. If they decide that you're capable of doing the job, cool. Is that going to cause some problems? Potentially. Can you overcome that? Sure. You lied your way in. You can lie your way through anything. Just do it. At least that's my perspective. I'm sure there are plenty of people who would disagree. Feel free to do so in the comments below. I don't know how many more videos like this I'm going to make. Probably not many. So, if you have enjoyed this, thank you for watching.